welcome to Unity tutorial of how to control material properties with script and applying rigid body, physics and collision. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Unity development environment and we put one of these together. So guys, let's do that now. Hi guys, and welcome to Unity tutorial of material control. So let's just give it a name. I'll call it material control though. And for your information, the template I'm using is 3D core. So let's give that a name. We call it control material. Alright, let's click on create. There we go. Now material is being created. Okay guys, my development environment is ready. So the very first thing I would like to do is I'm going to right click on the hierarchy here and I will then select 3D. Let's select a cube and just dump it right there. And this very cube, I'm going to change the name of that cube to, let's just call it ground. And change the size of that cube to approximately 1000. That's for the x-axis. The y-axis is going to be 0.2 and the z-axis I'm going to make that 1000 as well. Now right click in there on the hierarchy again and I'm going to select another cube. So let's go to 3D, select the cube. There we go. That's the cube right there. I suppose you guys can see that. I'm just going to change that to 2 by 2 by 2. There we go. And this very cube, I'm going to call it change color. You can give it whatever name you like. That's my cube called change color. Now right in here, I'm going to right click in here, go to create and let's select script. This very script, I will call that change material. There. Now make sure your script is selected. Now click on open. There we go. That's coming up now. Now we're going to create a serialized field. A serialized field is a private variable that is visible on the inspector. So however, it's private to an individual game object. So let's say serialized field, and that is going to be for color. And this color, I'm just going to call it F color, and F color is going to be color dot white. There. Now copy that, paste that in here, and just change this serialized field to color, and this is going to be green. There. So what I'm trying to achieve in here is the color will change from white to green. Let's see, I think it's going to be lowercase. There, that is that. The next thing is I'm going to create another serialized field. This the rate at which this color is going to change. So copy that, paste that in here. It's going to be float, and I'll just call it speed. That will be equals 1. And this is going to be the speed at which we are fading from white to green. Now in here I'm also going to create another object here. I'll call it renderer, and we just call it render, and my render is going to be equals, say render equals get components, and the component that I wanted to get, that is going to be render, uppercase R. Okay, since we've cached the reference to the renderer, we now want to take care of the update function here. With the update function, what I'm going to do is to convert time to a number that will smoothly move from -1 to 1. So let's start by saying float. I'm going to say t, that equals math f dot sign, and I'm just going to make that time dot time, multiply that by the speed. There we go. Now for this very t, I'm now going to convert that to one that moved from 0 to 2. So I'm going to accept this suggestion. So let's say multiply, no, plus, let's say plus 1 there. So that we actually convert these to one that moved from 0 to 2. So the next one is I need to divide it by 2. So I'm going to then say t divide equals 2. Alright, so let's move this one there. Okay, now the next thing we now need to do is to interpolate. So I'm going to say, let's say, create a variable there. I'll call that new color, and that's going to be equals color, change that, color dot, so that would be color dot lap, and which color am I lapping? That's going to be F color, comma, to T color. I believe it's uppercase T. Yeah, that's it, uppercase T that I have in there. And I just paste that in here. Then comma T. There we go. So all I've just done here is actually interpolating between the two colors. Then the next thing I want to do now is to be able to apply the new color. So I'm going to say renderer, this very one here. Let's move that up so that you can see it. That will be dot material. Let's get that right. Dot color equals the new color. And that's it. So that is to apply the new color. So I'm going to save that. Make sure it's saved, and let's go straight into my Unity editor here. And that's it, compiling the lines of codes. Okay, I have an error telling me about my color. I think it's got to be with a U. Yeah, there we go. I need to put a U here. Alright, so make sure you get the whole spelling right. Okay, I'm going to save that. Go back to my editor. Now it's now compiling again. Alright, I think it's working. So what I'm now going to do is, you see this very cube here that I call change color? I'm going to drag the codes, just dump it on the cube. There we go. There. You see the game? I'm going to drag the game, just peg it right here. I want to make sure I'm able to see the cube properly. So I'm going to now run it. Let's see what's going to happen with the lines of codes. That should be able to change from white to green. So let's see how that's going to work. Look at that. You see that? And it's going to change back to white. You see that, guys? So I need to maximize it. So it's maximized now. So I'm going to run it again so that you guys have a look at what's going to automatically happen. Changing from one state to the other. Look at that. There. Okay. Now let's end that. Now you see this very cube. I'm now going to convert it into a prefab, a reusable cube. So drag it, dump it right here. There we go. Now the color, this cube as well, that I've just dumped right there, that I've converted to prefab. Let's do one more thing. You see this prefab? I am now going to add a rigid body to it. let's just type in rigid. There, I've added it to this very one here. So I'm now going to grab it, just move it there. This one also has a rigid body because it is copied of the prefab. So here are the colors, the cubes I mean. Okay, so add another one cube here and another one. Okay, I have 4 of those. Okay, select the 4 cubes all individually. Let's change the color. Select the very first one. I've selected it. I'm going to change that to maybe around blue. That's fine. Select the cube 1, change that color to maybe pink. Select number 2, change that color to, let's go for sky blue. And select the third one. I think I'll leave the third one as green. So I have 4 of those in there. So let's right click in here and create an empty game object. This game object, I'm just going to call it folder, or let's say color folder. Okay, color folder. Grab all of the colors, all of the cubes straight into the folder. There, I can now copy this, right click, create a duplicate. That's the duplicated one. So let's move this so that you guys see what I'm about to do. So just drag the one I've just duplicated. Okay, now I'm going to right click it again, create another duplicate, drag it to this side. There, so I have about 12 in there. So the whole 12, now right click, create a duplicate, just move it up. There we go. Now let's do one thing. I just want to change the back color of this, or we can just drag the code onto this one as well, onto the ground itself. So if I run it now, this is what you guys will see. Let's see, it's coming up now. There we go. Look at that. Okay, but one thing that I want the system to do is I want it to kind of like maybe just simulate explosion for me. So to do that, I'm going to right click in here. Let's select is fair. There we go. That's the sphere there. I'm going to change the size of that to about 4 by 4 by 4, and I'm going to make sure I add rigid body to that. Click on that, add a rigid body to it. I'm going to move it right in here. There. Okay, make sure it's right in there. Yeah, we can even copy it. So let's run it and see what's going to happen now. So that should actually simulate something that you see that's kind of like exploded. All right, let's do one more thing. I'm going to add sound to it. Okay, let's open up my Explorer, and right there, that's my Explorer. Come right here, just drag the sound, explosion sound, drop it in here. There we go. Minimize that. Okay, that is the sphere there. I am now, make sure it's selected, scroll right down and come right here where we have add components. I will add audio source. There, that's an audio source added to it. Drag it. So that is the audio source I've just added. I will now drag this sound and just dump it right inside the audio clip. There. So let's run it and you see what's going to happen. Run. And let's see that. It's coming up. Look at that, guys. You see that? Okay, and the color just changes. Okay, let's do one more thing. You see this very sphere there? I'm going to right click and just kind of like create a duplicate. I want it to have good effect on it. So let's do this. Oh, that's it. Move this back in here and move this right in here somewhere. there. I want to make sure it's inside. No, it's not inside properly. Alright, so let's see. As you can see, if you guys notice, the background color changes. I've just clicked on the background color. I want to change it from green to something else. Make that a bit of yellow. Let it change from white to yellow. So now run. You see that, guys? And that is how you actually create your own change of states. The material changes color, and we also added physics to it with the aid of collider. So guys, with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to this channel, and you all have a nice day now, and bye for now.